Is this what people need to see? Should I post this meme? Should I post this funny video? Or should I post something positive? Should I post some kind of information? And I know that sounds corny. And I know people are going to be like, well, I don't want to be serious all the time. And Facebook not about that. YouTube not about that. I want to have fun, this and that. But if you don't care, they obviously don't care. It's people out there who don't have this information. It's people out there who have no clue about none of the stuff I talk about. And one video changed the whole situation. Now, I know a lot of people get real spooked out. A lot of people get real scared. We start talking about the government. They can watch you. They can see everything. A lot of people get scared. And fear is what keeps a lot of people from doing things. People get so scared. They don't want to post videos. They don't even want to watch certain videos. They just want to stay in this safe, happy zone. They don't want nothing to disturb their day. Their day it's been peaceful, no drama. People think that, I don't want no problems. I just want to go to work, keep my head down, work, serve my master, serve my boss, keep my head down. I don't want no trouble. And this is the thing. And pretty soon, you're not going to have a choice. Pretty soon, it's not going to be a choice. And if it gets to that point where we don't have a choice, we lose. So we got to get to getting now. Because when it gets to that point where we don't have a choice, when you force to fight, that's it. They got you mapped out. They got a plan of attack. You have nothing because you've been scared. You're living in fear. So as soon as those guns come up, you putting your hands up. And they might be putting you down anyway. So, yeah, you see a lot of these videos popping up all over YouTube of people with guns, ammo. All different kinds of counts of ammo. Because whether you realize it or not, it's people out here who know what might be coming. And they are preparing for it. They got Bina drums that hold 1,000 rounds and all kinds of crazy guns and, modified weapons. And they not scared to post these videos on YouTube and Facebook. I've seen a lot of them. Crazy guns out there. Because people know what's coming. And they are prepared to defend themselves and their family against whatever. So you have to feel the same way. You got to be the same way. You can't sit back and be scared thinking that I don't want no trouble. I don't want no drama. We can prevent all of this or any kind of, major drama from happening with just education, waking people up. But first, people got to stop being so scared. People got to stop being so spooked out, about what the government can do, what the government is talking about, where they're moving, their actions, and focus on what we can do, as a group, as a collective. I'm not talking about a group of people in one state. I'm talking about it's going to take a lot of people to get things done. Because if you want to, impeach a senator or impeach a president, you couldn't just do that without, the people as a collective. You would have to get the Senate involved to get that done. And one state can't do that. It would take a lot of people. So the Constitution actually lists, powers that the people have against the government. We can look at, Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution, the section on, the standard for impeachment, where it's talking about what we can do to impeach a president or, a member of Congress or Senate or what have you, and get rid of them. And the whole thing is, when you look at 9/11 and you look at what took place there, there's no way in the world that George Bush should not have been impeached. He got on stage and joked about the weapons of mass destruction. All those people got killed. Millions of Iraqis dead. People got their arms and legs blown off. And he on stage joking about weapons of mass destruction. A lot of people saw that. Nobody said nothing. Who you gonna go to? You can't run to somebody and say, hey, we got all this information on George Bush. Look at these tapes. 9/11 this, it was an inside job. Who are you gonna go to present this information? There's nobody we can run to, as an individual to get this information to say, hey, I got enough information on George Bush and his family, on, his administration of what took place with these weapons and what took place with 9/11 that can put them all in prison. Who are you going to give it to? What's going to happen? There's no police for the president. You only have the Senate, and we can't get to the Senate except for as, a mass of people. Do you know you can look and see in the Constitution that, we are not bound to that. They have already changed it anyway. It's a document that lists the rights we have. Y'all think that it controls us, but you have already given away your freedom, just by being a citizen. You carrying around an ID, you're a citizen, they own you. You have willingly given yourself to them, to this corporation. And nobody, looks at Washington and says anything like, Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. I mean, what is that? District of Columbia. What is that? Nobody looks at it and say, well, these people are not even a part of America. It's a separate country. It's a corporation that runs this country. The whole layout is Masonic. We can see it. I mean, nobody looks at this and say nothing. Nobody says like, oh, what's going on with this whole Masonic layout of Washington, D.C. And wait a minute, they're not a part of America? And they control what? They have power over who? Nobody says nothing. We just, I don't want no trouble. I just want to work. I just want to, feed my kids. Pretty soon, not going to have a choice. Got to wake up. And I'm glad to see that people are actually waking up. People are waking up and looking around and saying, what's something not right. This is crazy. What's going on? People getting shot like crazy and, all these false flags and they're trying to take our weapons and, wars overseas. What's going on? Something that's not right. People starting to wake up and see, what's been happening. And we can't stand around no more and just accept it. We have become willing hostages. That's what we are. Willing accomplices to the atrocities that has been going on overseas in Iraq and in Syria. People get outraged when the troops is killed, but millions of Iraqis have been killed. Look how many people in Syria are being killed. Just, we let it slide. We don't say nothing. No outrage. It's America. So now at some point in the coming years, maybe 5 years, 10 years, who knows? Everything is going to come to a climax at some point, depending on us, the people, how much, we can stop, how much information gets out there. Like, I'm going to say it again. I'm happy to see so many people are waking up as, it seems to be a glimmer of hope for the people here in America from what I can see and from, what I've been involved in myself. I can see, millions, people from all over the world. I talk to people in Nigeria, people in Haiti, people in Iceland, people all over. People from all over the world I talk to about what's going on around the world. And it seems that, it's a huge, consensus, a huge conscious awakening of people to what's going on. And, I had a long conversation with this brother from Iceland about the whole revolution that took place there. And, the thing we have to realize here in America is, the court system, your politicians, the religious system, all of these things are one. You talk about your media, your corporations, your government, one. They all one. You have to realize the corporations control the politicians. They running things here. They run it. The bankers are running things here. So now in Iceland, what happened is they try to do the same thing there. Now Iceland is small. It's about 320,000 people there. That's it. So small country. So the bankers came in there and they basically bankrupt the country so they can try to give it, put it in the hands of their masters, which is the IMF and the World Bank. But the people said, what? Hey, wait a minute. We didn't incur this debt. The IMF and the World Bank said, we're going to step in there. We're going to take over the country and we're going to fix things and get you guys out of debt. And the people said, hell no, because we didn't incur this debt. The bankers did this. We had nothing to do with this. So they rioted, they marched and they protested and they came together. And eventually it forced these politicians to resign, and they gripped them up and locked their ass up. In Iceland, this is something that you haven't seen on the news. Big revolt. So then they elected, new officials, and, of course they had a backup plan. These new officials came in and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. Everybody in Iceland is going to pay about $100 a month for about 15 years and, with interest, and then we'll pay off the debt. And the people was like, no. Hell no. We didn't incur the debt. We got nothing to do with this debt. We don't like this plan either. Get out of here. So they got rid of them too. And they came up with their own plan as a people to get rid of the debt, fix the debt, so they won't have to allow the IMF and the World Bank to come into their country and take over. Plain and simple. Iceland, got to learn from that country. Look at Haiti. Look at what happened with Haiti. Haiti overthrew their government as well. But then we know the earthquake followed right after that. And then they needed aid. They needed help. So we have to learn from these countries, from these people. But we are blinded by entertainment. We are blinded by stupid shit. We are blinded by twerking, blinded by sports. We are blinded by dumbness, by memes, by little funny videos, 15-second videos. Blinded by Facebook and Instagram and all kinds of stupid stuff. And we're going to be so blind that we are not going to see when it hit us. So we all basically have to wake up and realize it's not a black-white thing. This is a citizen thing. This is a people thing. This is about the people. It's about getting this country straight. Is it going to happen? A lot of you are resigned to, hell no. Whatever happens, happens. This is the kind of mindset people have. Oh, well, whatever happens, happen. If they kill me, so what? And that's what they want you to feel. They want you to think like that. They want you to think like, it's hopeless. There's nothing you can do, or it's in God's hands, or, it's nobody coming to save us, people. We all we got. We all we got. Ain't nobody coming. There's no police we can call to police the government. We're on our own. The power is in the people. We can fix all of this shit if people just wake up. If people just pay attention and look around and just, speak up when they see something. The power is in the people. Like, they are nothing. Small amount of people doing all this damage. I mean, these false flags are so obvious. They obvious. It's a joke almost to when you see these things happen. And it's like, again, ain't that much coincidence in the fucking world. I don't care what nobody say. People just going to keep going to places and shooting places up. Like, come on. Right after that, what they talking about? Gun control. If y'all let these people take your guns, if you let them take your freedom, it's over. It's over. Nothing you're going to be able to do after that. Can't say I told you so. Can't say nothing. It's just going to be it. If they federalize the state and local police, that's game. They take our guns, that's game. Martial law will follow. The dollar will collapse. It's going to be, anybody who's under that poverty line, say goodbye. Because that's what they're trying to get rid of. If you poor, they want you fucking dead. In the ground. Plain and simple. And that's a lot of you who are poor. Seriously. Everybody ain't got the means to just fly out of the country. And then, the dollar collapse. It's going to follow everywhere. Everybody's going to be affected except for those countries who were smart enough to protect themselves. Pay attention. Watch C-SPAN. Watch the news. Pay attention to their bullshit. I know it's bullshit, but listen to it. Because when you start watching the news and watching, especially CNN, when you start paying attention to what they're saying and comparing it to real events and, real information, then, you can see where the bullshit comes in. It's easy to see that the news media is in on all this crap. I mean, it's easy to see this stuff. They own the news media. Look at who owns these corporations. Pay attention to what's going on. This stuff is not hard. So, I get a lot of questions about people just wanting to know what's going to happen in America, what's going to take place here. And like I said, whatever they want to do, it's going to happen. It's people who seriously believe that Obama is a good president and he's done what he's supposed to do and, he's a good dude. It's people who are seriously pro-Obama who really think that he controls the country. And I question a person who honestly think that a president is going to come in and just take over, the leadership of a country. And he comes in and he just knows everything, how to work everything. And, he has foreign relationships and he has, he just knows so much. It's a position that you would have to really spend some years studying. You can't just say, oh, I was a senator or I was a general and now I'm qualified to run basically the free world. There's already people in place, obviously. And it's just some people who can't fathom that. It's people behind closed doors who are, pulling the strings or who is really controlling things. And until people can fathom that and realize that, yes, the proof is out there, the documentation is out there, that the Federal Reserve is basically running the bankruptcy of America, because America, yes, it went bankrupt. And the Federal Reserve has been managing the bankruptcy since the 1930s. Our government is operating under emergency powers, of our government. So it's the Federal Reserve, the Treasury. It is the Federal Reserve who basically is controlling the president, saying, hey, well, wait a minute. We own this country legally. It's ours. We own it. Y'all still paying off this debt. We're giving y'all more debt to pay off because the money is debt. So we really make the laws. Remember, Alan Greenspan. Here it is again.
What is the proper relationship? What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. So long as that is in place and there is no evidence that the administration or the Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things other than what we think is the appropriate thing, then what the relationships are don't frankly matter.
So again, Alan Greenspan is basically saying, hey, we run things. It doesn't matter who you put in there. I don't care what the president is. It don't matter what he say. They control everything. He's basically telling you straight up that the Federal Reserve is running the country. So the Federal Reserve is owned and, controlled by who knows? Private bankers who are not Americans, who do not have the best interests of America at heart. They don't give a damn about what happens here. Their goal is to make you patriotic and get you all excited about America so you can send your kids to go die. So you can fight for their agenda. They don't give a damn. That's why you see all these cases where, people have to take down their American flag and, these people don't care about America. They don't care about what's going on because they are not Americans. They're not worried about it. This country they are using to complete their plans of, global domination, New World Order. This is why everybody hate America, because they're using America to do things, to control things. Plain and simple. And people got to read up, and you got to just look at official documents. District of Columbia, separate country, it's not a part of America. Look at Federal Reserve Act. Just read it. There is no limit. It's no expiration date to where we have to pay this money back, or to when they're going to give up their power. There's no charter on the Federal Reserve like it was back when you had the Bank of North America. There's no charter. There's no 20-year charter. These people are going to be here forever. They're controlling things because they can keep creating debt to where we can never pay it back. And who knows how much we really owe. But we know that JFK obviously had a plan to pay it all back, and he got rid of them, which is one of the reasons why he got killed. So it's obviously possible to do so. It's just there's nobody in the Senate fighting for it. They have bought off everybody. You might got one or two good congressmen or maybe one senator, maybe a couple people in there who are okay. But for the most part, everybody has been bought off. All these politicians saying, you know what, I'm just going to go with the flow, do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to show up and vote. And, I got power. I got immunity. I don't have to be like the sheeple. So, of course, they're not going to give up they seat, they piece of the pie, for what? To get killed? They ain't speaking out for nobody. So, it's just what it is. It is what it is. And until people step up and start waking up and seeing what's going on and stop being so scared and realize that we are basically accomplices to what they are doing because we just sit back and let it happen. We look at TV and we watch all these false flags and we just say, oh, well, to everything that happens. People put out this information and we just say, oh, well, what can I do? And that's basically it. I mean, it's messed up that it got to be like this, but it is what it is. That's all we can say. So, I just try to put out the information and try to wake people up. Some of you share it, some of you watch it and learn, which is the best thing to do. Like I say, learn as much as possible. And this is the best thing we can do because eventually, it's going to come to a point where we have so much information and we know so much they're not going to be able to make a move. Because now most of you now, since you get this information, you have been able to look at TV or look at movies and spot things, you know, like that because of the information you picked up. You have been able to say, oh, I know what that's about as soon as you see it. So when I look at these false flags, you can automatically see, you can see from the lingo, from the way they're talking, just all of a sudden you got witnesses and you got people coming, you know, Chicago Police Department, some police chief coming from somewhere saying all these things. And it's like, you know, how he just so happened to be in the neighborhood when this false flag, you know, occurred. He just so happened to be near, like he knew it was going to go down. I mean, just look at the lingo. Look at the same MO. You got a witness. He says all these things. It conflicts with the official story. And then it's like, you know, it's come on. It's the same stuff over and over again. And it's messed up. You know, if 14 people really got killed in California, it's crazy. But again, people don't care. They focused on stupid shit. Season finale of Empire. At the same time, we got this false flag. And people just don't care. But, you know, my whole thing is to wake up as much people as possible. And hopefully, and I'm glad to see it's happening. It looks like, you know, a lot of people waking up. But hopefully, you know, this video will help a lot of people, you know, wake up. So now my final piece of advice, you know, just stay alert, stay on top of your game, keep researching, keep putting out the information, keep trying to wake people up no matter how much they say you crazy or you're a conspiracy theorist or what have you. Keep putting out the information, you know, keep supporting people who's trying to put out the information. You know, stay on top of your game, stay up to date on this information. Don't get lost. You know, keep up with it because you need to know what's taking place and what's going on here. You need to be aware of these things so you can see what's coming. You can predict what's coming. You can put the information out and, you know, you can wake other people up as well. So now I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and I'll see you guys next video.